So today is the day that a race stops the nation here in Australia. And for a lot of American expats like me, today and that term has a whole new and very different meaning. So today in Australia is Melbourne Cup Day. It is a horse race like the Kentucky Derby, but in the US, it's Election Day. Or Election Day is about to start, depending on what time you see this video. And so, as you can understand, this has a whole different meaning. So to my American expat friends, wherever you are and whichever channel that you're watching this on, or even to my Aussie friends that are really interested in the election system in the US and how a lot of people debate about whether it's broken or not, I have two podcasts that I think you should listen to in the particular order I'm going to give them to you. The first one is Tweak the Vote by Radiolab. This is about how the Electoral College is broken, or the democratic voting system in the US, and how the argument that it is broken and needs to be tweaked. It actually reviews the voting system that Australia uses, countries like Ireland use as well, and how it shows how your vote well and truly counts. Because in the US, if you vote for the losing candidate, your vote ends up not counting for anything really. However, in countries like here in Australia, you can rank the candidates by your preference, so that if your top candidate doesn't win in the first round of counts, your vote still counts and can go towards your next preferred candidate, and so on and so forth. Which means the elections are pretty fair, where your vote actually ends up having a lot of sway, and sometimes elections really just go in a completely different direction than what the public actually expects. It also gives an opportunity for multiple parties to be involved in politics, such as, the Greens, the Fishers and Shooters parties, and even the Pirate Party. The second podcast episode that I think you should listen to after Tweak the Vote is The Unpopular Vote. This is also by Radiolab as well. It's the story of how a U.S. senator back in the late 60s, early 70s nearly got the Electoral College abolished, because he realized after very in-depth research on how it actually is an antiquated system, and how, in fact, it's really actually kind of rigged in a way where, again, people's votes don't really count. And so he was pushing for a popular vote, and how that came to the floor not once, but twice. And how, unfortunately, he lost in both rounds for very different reasons in each one. Are we going to see a new voting system happen? Yes, it is happening in several states. The state of Alaska uses it for all of its voting in its elections. And I don't know, maybe we can see that in a national election soon. Who knows? But anyway, if you are interested, I listened to these very much in depth and learned heaps. And it helped me realize how, now being here in Australia and being obliged to vote, in fact, really, my vote can really count, and that I should really pay attention to the candidates that are on the ballot rather than voting willy-nilly like many people do. Anyway, I thought that you guys would actually be really interested in that, and I'd love to hear your comments once you listen to them, and pop them below.